Hey, morning guys. K6UDA here. Okay, let's get this. Hang on here. I'm gonna do a little bit of my screen magic here for a minute. Hey, good morning. We'll have to we'll get the other screen up in just a few. Gene McPhee. Good morning from Kaleen, Texas. Pamela is in the house. Thank you, Pamela, for all you do for the channel. Awesome. Miko Wolf. Holy crap. What is going on? Do I have... I don't have that on. Oh, I need to turn this off. All the security stuff. Yeah. Let's see. I can actually go to camera 2 today, and I don't think, yeah, the other one's not working. Anyway, hey, a little bit behind the scenes here before we really get rolling here. Hey, I'm Bob K6UDA. Welcome to the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net live stream. Oh, we got somebody coming in here. K7AYAZ. Yep, hang on here. K7YAZ, K6UDA. And something ain't working right. I'm not hearing him. K7YAZ, K6UD. Oh. Yep. I was not copying you on my side. Good morning, Mike. What's happening?
Watching the live stream. Got to go back out to the other room and continue making the old pancakes.
Very nice. I'm just sitting here having a cup of coffee. Of real coffee. Actually, I'm going to plug it in a second because it comes from one of our people.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, cup number 1 is down. Probably have cup number 2 while making, and then it's off to the chores.
Yep, there you go. Hey, I'll talk to you in a few, and welcome to the live stream. K6UDA. About 10 more minutes and we'll start the net. All right, guys. Hey. My buddy over at Quirky QRP, and let me go to camera 2 here. Yeah, James Hannibal, Quirky QRP, sent me some coffee, some linear amplifier light roast. How cool is this? And I'll tell you what, we've been drinking the K-Cup coffee. My wife loves her French vanilla because, you know, French vanilla. She loves that stuff. So she has been buying that for years. And we've been doing the little K-Cup things because I have like 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Anyway, I fired this stuff up finally this morning. And this is actual real coffee. So, James, thanks for some actual real coffee in the morning. Let's go back over to our normally scheduled screen here. And we'll start getting ready for the net. Hey, good morning. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Pam's in there doing her thing. The hostess with the mostess. Thank you. Shadow Bears in the house. Tim Roman, KB9UPY, in the house there. Good morning. Wow. That's actually coffee. It tastes much better than the crap we've been buying in the store. It does. And I'm not just saying that because James is a friend. James is a friend of the channel, or that he sent me a bag of coffee. It does taste different. Let's see, what else do we got going on this morning? 9 minutes till we get the net underway. So far, 16 people in the house. Hey, thank you for being early. That's kind of cool. Been watching the YouTube news lately, or all the creator stuff, and things that I kind of hate to see. I hate to see the right cannibalize each other and turn on each other, but it's nothing new. But I guess the newest is after this whole, the Daily Wire thing. Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens having their little duke outs over, I guess, U.S. foreign policy in Israel. And everybody knows, Ben Shapiro is a big Israel fan, but I think he's very much in the swamp when it comes to that. Anyway, they had their big falling out. Candace Owens got canned from the Daily Wire, or released from her contract. And now all of a sudden, there's some, I guess she's been slapped with a gag order pretty much. So she wanted to have a debate with him over U.S. policy. Nothing big. U.S. policy over, foreign aid, Israel, blah, 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 getting involved in another war in the Middle East. And she's now been slapped with a gag order. They can't have, and Ben's like, oh yeah, no, we can't have that because she won't show up. She won't talk about it. Well, he's the one who caused that. Anyway, I hate to see the right cannibalizing each other. This is why we can't win the culture war. Pamela, JFG coffee, just effing gross coffee, or get the best coffee. Glad to see you have a bag of the best coffee. Oh, K7YAZ from 375 miles in one direction or another. Garrett is in the house. Good morning, my son Garrett. Tried to think of another name for you, my son, but I can't. So you'll always be the man child. Would tune into the show via radio, but mine is still in the mail. That's right. Garrett sent his FT70 off to HRO and had them do a Mars mod on that. And I'd invite Garrett to key up on the radio and talk about his experience, but hey, he doesn't have his radio, so he's not a real ham right now because you don't have a radio. Let's see. We've got 6 nodes in the house so far right now. Today Should be a pretty interesting show. If you guys are on the radio, if you're going to be on the radio during the net, I would encourage you to please chime in. Help me out on this. I don't want to be the only voice in the house. And K7CAN from the northern Twin Falls County. All the way up north. Hey, Mike, is it snowing all the way up north? No net logger today. Brad Smith, no net logger today. Well, I haven't started it. Actually, I've got somebody that's supposedly running NetLogger. Let me go ahead and start up a NetLogger instance and see if it's on. NetLogger. Got a couple of minutes here. Whoop. Let's select a net and see if it's up there. Oh man, I can't even see that. I guess not. I guess no Southern Idaho. Let me move that over here so I could see it. And I don't see it in there. I guess I could start up. No snow. We did have frost though. Okay. Let's put that back up. And no, come on. Come on. We'll move that over here. We'll put that back up on the screen. I will go ahead and create a net. And let's see. Getting rain in Virginia from Ron Collins. And I need to do a couple of housekeeping kind of things around here. So give me a minute. Let me jump. Okay, also, Discord is up and running. And I will sign myself in here. K6UDA. Yay. Let's see. N7GRS. Oh, come on. N7GRS. Okay. If you would like to be in the log, go ahead and, man, I'm just losing it this morning. All right, yeah, if you want to be in the log, go ahead and put your call sign in, and I'll get you in the log. And we are actually, come on. I've got to run up to here. I got to grab this. And I'll actually put that right there. Ronald Collins in the house. Good morning. Okay. Gene sees us on NetLogger. Kenny Jones, let me get you in the log there. Okay. I gotta find a frequency here that I'm not gonna be able to hit. K7 MVA. No, that's probably not good. Let's see. KI5OP. KI5OP. Beautiful. You're in. K7YAZ. Yeah. K7YAZ, K6UDA. I could see you on the screen, but you're no audio. Okay, we'll start getting people logged in here, and you could follow along on NetLogger yourself. Ronald Collins going through an OpenSpot 4 Pro on YSF. Beautiful. N3XUF. You got something going on behind you, or behind your signal there. It's very, very choppy. I did kind of copy that. Okay. All right. Well, now.
All right. Go ahead. Log in. Maybe that's the problem. I'll log out.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're. Maybe you are in a helicopter, and then it would be kind of normal. But it sounds like you kind of got a helicopter behind you or in front of you. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start the net because it's 9:03. Good morning, everybody on the radio. This is Bob, K6UDA, and I'm going to be your net control host, and welcome to the Southern Idaho Command and the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. This net meets every Saturday morning, 0900 hours Mountain Time on the K6UDA repeater here in Twin Falls. This is a digital-only net accessible via Wires X Room 40448, the Idaho Command, and YSF Reflector 56026. That's the YouTubers' YSF Room. Also available on the Hanson Butte 2-meter fusion repeater on 145.170. Local hams without a digital radio can also participate on the 442.00 mode or 00 repeater in analog mode. The purpose of this net is the free exchange of information related to emergency preparedness, commonly known as prepping. We encourage deep dives into subjects related to food, water, shelter, personal protection, weapons, survival tactics, medical issues, communication gear, and techniques. I'm also looking for subject matter experts to lead discussions on all these various subjects. If you have material you'd like to discuss or present, when you check in, please indicate that you have a subject. Although not primarily political, discussion of relevant political, cultural, or religious events are welcome in the context of situational awareness and survival. In order to give everybody an opportunity to be heard, I'm going to do check-ins in the following order. I'll ask for local check-ins. That's off any of the 3 local repeaters hooked in. I will then ask for Wires X and then YSF. It's especially important to keep the wires X and YSF check-ins kind of separated because it's very easy to step on each other. You're encouraged to check in with your first name, call sign, location, and how you're getting into the net. Local repeater, wires X, YSF. That being said, do we have any local check-ins?
Kilo Juliet 7, Romeo Alpha Romeo. Terry, Twin Falls.
All right, Terry, we got you in there. Any other local check-ins? All right, how about Wires X? Anybody on Wires X from any other nodes? Wires X check-ins? Oh, this ain't starting out too well, is it, people? All right, how about YSF? Oh, okay. All right, K7YAZ, got you in there, and got you in there from your helicopter, I guess. Brad from up north in Post Falls, thanks for checking in. Any Wires X or YSF check-ins?
Kilo Golf 4, India Charlie Golf, Ryan Woodbridge, Virginia.
Kilo Golf 4 ICG. All right, Ron got you in there. Good to see you. Welcome to the net. Anybody else? Anywhere? Anybody anywhere? Check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Now somebody keeps keying up, but I'm getting nothing. All right, we'll get back to check-ins here in just a little bit. Let's see.
JTK trying to check in from the range.
All right, hang on here. KK7JTK. All right, Matt, we got you in there. Good to see you. Which range are you at today?
We're out north of the freeway here, trying to shoot at 600 in this wind. It's going pretty good, as you could imagine.
Are you shooting into the wind or with the wind?
We started with the wind at our back, but now we're doing a cross value, trying to work on our windage stuff.
Outstanding. Very, very cool. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else want to check in? CXL. All right, on the live stream side, I've got Eric, KJ7CXL, who I've got checked in, and I know there was a couple of others, KI5. It's hard for me to do this all, so you got to stick with me. KI5 OPM. And Ken in Texas. And then we've got KE8WSH. Bill in Portland. Beautiful. Okay. I don't see any others right now. The E-Fisherman is on board from southern Idaho. Outstanding, my friend. I'll call for more check-ins in just a few. Well, actually, let me call for check-ins on the radio. All right, no more check-ins right now. Let's see. Let me go back. We've got 35 people on the live stream. 12 thumbs up. Please, if you're on the live stream, give us a thumbs up. And if you're listening to this on the radio, consider checking in. Okay, guys, loose ends from last week, or not, well, not loose ends. I guess one sit rep that I've got, and I'm sure everybody already knows, college campuses across the country are under siege by pro-Palestinian sympathizers. These are basically the same kids who were doing Antifa and a lot of the BLM protests. They've just upped their causes now. They just keep changing causes. They like to do the same kinds of things, sit-ins and hunger strikes and whatever they want to do. Let's see, they're taking over areas of college campuses across the country, denying access to Jewish students and faculty, and in the case of UCLA, hundreds of American students had a mass convert to Islam in some kind of a mass ceremony. Many, if not all of these students, or many, if not most of these students, are LGBTQ, and a lot of them are female. Most of these women don't realize that now that they've converted to Islam, they have adopted Sharia law. And this is a religion that you just don't leave when you want to. Women will be expected to adhere to dress codes eventually, and they will be forced to. They will be taken as wives, temporary or otherwise. Now, I don't know if it's YouTube friendly to say it, but they could be forced, impregnated, forced to raise nice Islamic babies. Gays and effeminate men will eventually be thrown off bridges, buildings, or simply eliminated. These kids really have no idea what they've done with their lives. No more BLTs, no more beer parties, no more cocktails, and no more non-halal foods. Does anybody else have any sit reps for the group? Okay, hearing no more sit reps. we'll get into the main subject. Well, here first, let me take a couple of check-ins here just to keep NetLogger happy. We've got the E-Fisherman KJ7GFE, the girlfriend experience. Okay. Anybody else care to check in right now for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Group? Okay, no other check-ins so far. That's kind of... Oh. All right. I gotta readjust a few things. A couple of things were not working right. Let's see. So, today's main subject that I've got is about security. Before crap hits the fan, after crap hits the fan. Oh yeah, you know what? Before I start, I do want to plug Discord. Immediately after the net, we're going to move over to Discord so we can actually have a conversation. And this is Bob, K6UDA, for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. So before everything hits the fan, a few things that I had talked about, or that I wanted to get across some points. Number one, get out of the cities. If at all possible, move now while the getting is still good. Even 10 to 20 miles away from population centers will be a huge advantage when this happens. Identify multiple ways to get in and out of your neighborhood and your area if you're in the city. Not just the main roads, but any back roads, any off-road trails that might get you in and out. Because if you decide to stay for whatever reason at some point after crap hits the fan, you're gonna need to get back into your neighborhood, and main thoroughfares, roadways could be blocked, could be destroyed, who knows. Let's see. Do you stand out from your neighbors? I would say if you want to blend in, blending in is a big thing. Don't stand out too much. I mean, the pink hair or blue hair will make you stand out. Dress like the people in your community dress. Become kind of a gray man. Driving a Porsche 911 around in an area dominated by domestic pickups is going to make you stand out. Now, nothing wrong with having that hot rod in the garage. I've always had hot rods in the garage, but you don't want to act like you're better than everybody, even if you think you are. You want to have good situational awareness. You want to know who's around you, where are you, what's around you, what can you use in your immediate possession as a tool or as a weapon. Is there cover, concealment anywhere near you? And that goes for everywhere you go. Can you take cover? Can you get to it? Are you able to fight or surprise strike your opponent? Do you have a feeling in the pit of your stomach that says, "Danger, Will Robinson"? If you do, listen to that voice. And are the people around you right now, wherever you are they friendlies or are they hostiles? If you don't know them, I consider them hostiles. Any fills? Anybody have anything to add about that? Any observations or disagreements?
KJ7RAR.
Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, the situation awareness. One of the things we often forget is when we are out and about, we think about around our homes and stuff, but restaurants, movie theaters, or any kind of a place where there's a gathering, we need to be aware that that's often where terrorists attack when you least expect it. You may be in an ice cream parlor, and they want to attack places where it's easy to get in and get out and do as much damage as they can. And it's just good to be seated in a position that you can watch the doors and know where the exits are. And I know that sounds like you're, a little paranoid, but I'd rather be a little paranoid than be caught off guard. So there's some extra thoughts on that. Over. KJ7RAR.
All right, thanks, Terry. A couple of YouTube comments here. One, Bryce asking, what is the purpose of the radio check-ins? Bryce, this whole thing started out. It was started out as a local on a radio net, and it's basically practice for when things go bad and we need to kind of assemble ourselves on the radio and get information in and out on the radio. So hence it is on the radio, and we do radio check-ins. That's just for fun right now, but that could actually become a real thing. We want to know kind of who's in the house. And again, this is Bob, K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Let's see. The E-Fisherman says it is coming down in buckets right now. I'm going to jump over here onto the YouTube here. And we'll do just a few of these things. Paper maps. Miko Wolf. Keep paper maps and a compass and know how to use them. Yeah. I wish I was better at that. That's just something I haven't mastered right now. Other than having a GMRS dual band and HF antennas on my 24 Ranger, he doesn't stand out too much. No, that won't make you stand out. All right. Let me go ahead and ask for check-ins. Check-ins. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, put your call sign in. If you're on the radio, go ahead and check in now. All right, not seeing any new check-ins so far. I'll keep NetLogger open for just a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and secure secure that so I don't get a ding notice. Let's see. Securing your home. First of all, and you could say I've just broken this rule. Be quiet. You don't talk about your preps. And I know I've broken this many times. I talk about, well, I don't talk about mine per se. We got James in the house, and I'm gonna enter in a couple of quick internet check-ins. Hang on. KG5 GTE. All right, we've got KG5 GTE in the house. We've got W1 SLC in the house. Stuart, who one of my old buddies from the old country. KH2 SR in the house. James is in the house. James, hey, thank you. I'm drinking your coffee, brother. There it is. I've been talking about it and drinking it this morning before the show. Let's see. I'm gonna get these check-ins in. So on the radio, just stand by for a second. AG7US, AG7 UN, and KE7RIP. KE7RIP. Beautiful. Okay, for check-ins this round on the internet, we've got KG5 GTE Robert in Texas, W1 SLC Stewart in Sacramento, KH2 SR James in Ripon, California, AG7 UN Jared in Boise, and KE7 RIP Jason in Pocatello. Welcome, everybody, to the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. And this is Bob K6UDA. And now we'll just keep going with securing your home. Okay, like I said, be quiet. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. So other than people that you know and trust, you don't advertise your preps. Camouflage. You want to become the gray man. You want to dress like your neighbors do. You want to be low key in your purchases. It's not good to have huge Amazon boxes showing up every single day, unless you're out in the country and nobody's going to see that coming and going. If you don't have window coverings, get some, especially if you're in the city. If you're in the city, man, like I said, get out. Any fills? Anybody need information? Anybody have anything for the net so far? All right, looks like we've got the normal 5 nodes with us on the radio. I guess kind of a light day. Shred junk mail. Shred anything with your name on it before you toss it. Be very careful about what you post on social media. Now I basically post show things on social media. I don't post anything personal. I don't really use Facebook at all, and I'm very, very judicious about what I post on X or Twitter or whatever else. Building that 7-foot wall or fence, as long as it goes all the way around your home, it does make it harder for someone to surveil from the outside. But it also says to people on the outside, hey, I'm a high value target, or I have things here that you want. Other suggestions would be landscaping with very thorny, prickly plants. Fire thorns, century plants, bougainvillea, tomato porcupine, Spanish bayonet. Those are some of the plants that you could conceivably landscape with. It makes it much harder for people that want to cross that perimeter. And then open spaces. I know having a lot of plants is sometimes very desirable for the privacy and for the beauty, but having open space where people have to cross after a crap hits the fan is really advantageous as far as tactical. Cameras and motion lights. I have everything around the house kind of covered. I can look out. I get alerts on my phone. Now this works as long as there's an internet up. As soon as the internet goes away, I don't have that luxury anymore of having guard cameras. And I'm trying to figure out a way to do that offline with my cameras, or if I don't have the internet. Let's see, reinforced doors and windows, putting in solid core doors for the outside, metal doors, using good locks, deadbolts on everything, extra long screws that go into your hinge plates and make your strike plates a lot harder to kick open. But just know that any door can be kicked open if you try hard enough. Do we have anybody on the radio side that has anything, any fills or anything? Okay, let's see. Firearms. One of my favorite subjects. 3 basic types that you want to have. A pistol that's always on you. I don't leave the house without one on. Shotguns. Fantastic home defense. That's a great tool for the middle of the night when things go bump and you're waking up to something going on in the house, and as to not give your position away, and if you know your target and what's beyond, you don't have to aim real well. And then something like an AR or AK variant battle rifle. If you're not comfortable using them, get comfortable, get trained, and do it as often as you can. It's fun. Spending money on ammo is a lot of fun. Making your own ammo is a lot of fun. And for ID purposes, this is K6UDA. Also, let's see. I'm going to go ahead. Do we have any internet check or radio check-ins? Anybody on the radio want to check in? Wow, very light today. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out NetLogger. I'm going to terminate the net. Boom, done. So we won't have to be bothered by the pesky check-ins anymore to keep NetLogger happy. Moving on to next level home security. Building a safe room. Ideally, it's securely built. It's a reinforced room in your home that you and your family can retreat to as a last resort. You should have in your safe room food, water, gas masks, weapons, escape tools, because you'll have to get out, and if the ingress and egress are blocked for some reason, you're going to have to be able to get back out. Closable fresh air vents. So if something happens, if you've got a chemical or a gas attack, you can close the fresh air vent and kind of lock your air in. Security bars on the windows. If you're in Oakland, if you live in Oakland, California, this is perfectly acceptable. Almost everybody has bars on their windows. If you live in Twin Falls, probably not so much. Yeah, that would make you paranoid. Alarm systems, from simple to advanced alarms. Alarms are great as long as there's an internet, or as long as the phones are working and there's law enforcement available to respond. As soon as there's a major breakdown, there's no more law enforcement that's going to be responding to your burglar alarms, and your alarm becomes kind of a moot point. Again, steel doors and steel door frames. You can also put steel conduit into the walls to help anchor your deadbolts into steel, thus making them much, much harder to kick in. If you've got the dreaded sliding glass door anywhere in the house, putting dowel rods in those at the bottom of the sliding glass door, putting dowel rods in window frames to keep sliding windows from being slid open or jimmied open is going to help you. The underground bunker. Wow. This is the secret room where you could stash your food, weapons, ammo, your doomsday medications, trauma kits, and other crap hits the fan essentials. And then guard dogs. Good guard dogs. Well, any dog is going to be a good alarm system. And that's both with the grid and off grid. Good guard dogs are going to be things like German Shepherds, Rottweilers, other large or intimidating breeds, Great Pyrenees, I don't know what else. But your dogs need to be well trained. I could have sworn I heard a cat in here, but hey, that could just be me. Now, after crap hits the fan, everything in our lives are going to become very local. Well, here, before we move into that one, Does anybody have anything to add for pre-crap hits the fan security? Wow. Wow. Am I even going out over the radio?
Yeah, sounds good over here, Bob. KK7JTK.
All right, thanks, Matt. Let's see. After. Now we'll move into the after. Like I said, everything in life is going to become very local. And when I say local, I don't mean just your city. I mean pretty much neighborhood local. So it really behooves us to get to know our neighbors and get them on the same page as us as far as security. Most of our activities are going to be centered around the home, wherever that home may be, whether it's yours, whether it's a bug out location, but almost everything is going to be centered back around the homestead and your immediate neighborhood. Short range radio communication is going to become essential. It won't just be the exercise of radios like I was talking about earlier today, how we do this net on the radio and we're doing check-ins, the radio check-ins, but we're practicing. We're gathering on the radio at an assigned time, an assigned frequency, and over the internet, because we can right now. We're taking advantage of all the tools that we have at the moment. When one of those tools goes away, if the internet goes away, we will deal with it at that time. And we adjust the game plan. Anyway, let's see. Even the most rudimentary knowledge of radio is going to make you the radio person right now. It's going to make you the neighborhood expert. You need to be prepared to take that role on. Even if you're, let's say, a tech, or you're a more advanced GMRS user, and you're not a radio person per se, but you've kind of got a little bit of knowledge. That little bit of knowledge is going to make you an expert amongst a population or a neighborhood full of people that have absolutely no clue about radio communication. Your neighborhood is going to very quickly become your nuclear family. These are the people that are going to depend on you, and you're going to depend on them. It's going to be like battle buddies. They need to help you guard your property, your family, and you're going to be able to trade with them for supplies. Let's see, where am I? You're gonna trade with each other. You're gonna garden with each other. You're gonna fight off intruders with each other, and you're going to rely on each other for absolute survival. Oop. All right, now somebody killed the internet side here. Hang on. Hang on, guys. I've got to get... Let's see. Connect to 40448. All right. All right. For those of you on the internet, if you're... don't try to connect to me personally on Wires X. because that kicks me out of the room. You want to connect to 40448, not 30448. Let's see. Where were we? Give me a second, guys. I'm having technical issues. Looks like we've got a good conversation going there on in the comments. That's awesome. Let me move that over just a little bit so everybody can read it. Okay, here we go. We're back. If you're not familiar, and I said this before, if you're not familiar with firearms, get familiar, get trained, and get very, very comfortable with firearms. After crap hits the fan, you will carry. Everybody left is going to carry. Even the die-hard lefties, the true turn in all your gun believers, are going to learn the harsh realities of life without law enforcement and a functioning government. Be mentally prepared to do things that you would never consider in normal times. Men will learn to hunt, kill, learn to process food. Women are bound to take on more traditional roles of raising children, cooking, sanitation. Otherwise, modern successful women will gladly sell their bodies for food, security, or both. And I know there's women who will disagree with that and say, oh, no. But it's been proven, even in modern times. I have read stories on about women who are doctors and lawyers in Venezuela going into other countries to work in strip clubs and work in brothels to make enough money to come back and feed their kids. Wow. I'm not hearing my repeater click out. Let's see. Is there anybody on the local side that can verify that I'm going out?
KJ7 RAR, loud and clear.
Fantastic, Terry. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, those that have not prepared are going to be desperate. They are willing to break into your home and kill you for a can of beans. Marauding gangs will form up to rape and pillage homes, neighborhoods, entire cities. And some of these gangs are going to be so violent and extreme, it will boggle the mind. Brings me to my last section, is your own moral compass. And first of all, I'm going to ask, is there any fills, anything, any questions, comments on what I've gone over so far? Anything on the... All right, KK7CNM, you've kind of got the helicopter behind you, but go ahead and give it a shot.
Well, this is yes. Just get ready.
Oof.
I'm glad
after this, I'm going to go over to Discord for a little bit and then continue the conversation over there. And then, and I just fixed the helicopter, my friends. And then I got to go fix my irrigation pump. Got to go put that back together. But actually, it was, I guess, my fault. I missed most of what your comment was because I caused the helicopter with backfeed.
Oh, okay, no worries, no worries. I was just saying today's plans are fabricating, and then cutting and welding, and then going to shooting. And then before that, talking about watching one of your videos on the SHTF Security, which is what I have, but I didn't know the battery could last so long.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's another good skill to have is fabricating and welding. That's going to become, as long as we've got some power or a way to generate that power, that's going to be a very important skill. Any other comments? Any other things on the radio side?
No. Make some contact with you. She was 7 from you. She was 7 Charlie. Have a good rest of your day.
Hey, you too. Good to talk to you. Let's see. Gonna bring me to my last thing about this is my moral compass. And I'm not talking possibly to any of the criminals in the audience. This is for generally moral people. One area that I think is very important, it's very important to me, and I want to kind of explain it in my morality. Some of the actions that I may have to deal with include life or death decisions. And what I am willing to do if my family is starving and desperate. What are the boundaries that I'm not going to cross? And these boundaries are basically, they're determined by my relationship with the Lord and what I know to be true, what I know I cannot do, even if it means it's going to cost me my life. And everybody has their boundaries, whatever those boundaries may be. Some people might not have boundaries, but I think most of us here on this net do. Terry, KJ7RAR, who happens to be my pastor in real life. Do you have anything you can add on this?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. You know, I think that's a... Excuse me, I'm got a foggy voice here. I think that's an honest thing that we need to all grapple with ahead of time, and that is what we are willing or not willing to do in an emergency. We are going to see some really desperate times here in this country. It's already starting to show, and the rest of the year is going to get worse. Other countries are already experiencing things that we will experience. We want to deny it and say, no, it's not going to happen here. This is America. Well, it's not quite the America that I grew up in. I'm up there in age. So we need to think about this. Pause. We need to think about what we are willing to do. For example, like you said, if my family is starving, my children are hungry, and I have no food in the house, am I willing to go and steal it from somebody else, either by sneaking in or using a gun? Am I willing to hurt somebody else to get what I need for my family to feed us? That's something we need to think about, because once we step over a certain line, we become the bad guys, and we start losing our moral compass, like you said. Pause. And so we need to have a line that we're not going to cross. That's one of the reasons why I believe God gives us the desire to prepare ahead of time, and not only just for ourselves, but for others, to help others that have a need. Now, when it comes to protecting your family with a weapon or any other device, if somebody is trying to break into your house or hurt your family, do whatever is necessary. You know, somebody told me once, well, God doesn't approve of that. And I said, he absolutely certainly does. So those are the things we need to think about ahead of time, so that we can stay moral and in our walk with God, but also be able to be an example to the world around us, that just because there's trials and tribulations doesn't mean we have to fall prey to the enemy, which, the enemy being Satan and those that are against God. So that's some of my thoughts, KJ7RAR.
All right, Terry, thank you. Very, very good points. Let's see. Hang on here. All right, I need to take that out so I can put the monitors back on. Anyway, that's kind of all I had for today. Does anybody else have anything? Anybody on the radio have anything to add? Anything I didn't cover that you want to cover? Any other subjects that you guys want me to cover on another net?
JK7JTK.
Matt, go ahead.
Thanks, Bob. Just leaving the range here. I was wondering if you talked about, I know you talked about the protesters at the college campus. Did you talk about at UCLA where they released the lab rats in the backpack?
Say again. Mrs. K6UDA was just poked her head in.
So somebody, an anonymous person, brought a backpack to the protest, and they released a bunch of mice or rats, and they decorated them with like lab rat markings, like pink dots on the back, and so that when people saw them, they decided it wasn't worth protesting anymore, so they went ahead and left because they had no idea if the mice were infected with anything, and so essentially it was psychological warfare. They still have no idea if any of those mice were infected, but the protesters left anyways.
Hey, that's one way to end a protest. That's a very creative way. And that kind of, that's another thing that we need to watch out for is chemical and biological warfare. If that happens, is it real? What are you going to do? How do we deal with that kind of thing in a city center or even in a small town? Good observation. I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, the unknown is if they were actually infected with anything, and there's such thing as like paid protesters is probably not the right word, but people who that's kind of their full-time job now. And so the thought was that people who left that went ahead and went to another scheduled protest at another school. And so the thought is if there was anything in those, there could be spread of infection. But I think the general consensus is that no test animals were missing and that UCLA doesn't actually do any of that type of testing. Other universities in the area do. So yeah, interesting theory, just kind of a war game theory. If you want to spread apart a group of hysterical people, you can add some hysterical drama and very effectively disperse them. I'm sure that some stayed, but sounds like a large majority left after that, which then it gave the cops the numbers advantage, and they went in and cleared them out.
Very, very interesting. And, I mean, yeah, I don't wish engineered plagues or anything be released even on my enemy, because, it's kind of like COVID or any other biological weapon, Ebola. Once it gets out, it's out, and it spreads from person to person, and those pathogens don't discriminate. They affect left, right, black, white, anything in between, equally. Anyway, thanks for the information, Matt. I hadn't even heard that.
Yeah, really interesting. I think feeder mice at the pet store are pretty cheap. People feed them to like their pythons and snakes and stuff, and then a pink Sharpie would make a bunch of feeder mice look like lab mice for really cheap, cheaper than the price of 308 rounds. And then, have you heard about what's going on in Niger with the U.S. forces pulling out and the Russian forces moving in?
No, had not heard that.
So there's a U.S. base, and base is a loose term. It's a place that the Nigerian government said that we could have troops to support their causes, and I guess our talks are breaking down with them. And in a power play, the Nigerian government moved Russian forces into the same base, inside the same compound. And we're seeing more and more of that with China and Russia in those African countries. They're stepping up to provide them with foreign aid, foreign military, and food. And what seems to be happening in several countries over there is we're becoming least and least popular, which is fine with me, right? I say quit giving them money and let them hate us for free.
Yeah, I totally agree. Good sit reps, my friend. Thanks. Does anybody else have anything?
KJ7 RAR. One more thing.
Yeah, Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at that video I sent you last night, but for the radio audience here, there's a video I watched the other day that I really was. It was informational. It was just amazing. And I encourage you to do it. I stuck it on the YouTube, but it's titled. Let me get the name here. The Islamic New World Order is Here. It's a gal that's speaking in Budapest, and it's the things that she is saying is amazing. Just one of the things it says, she says, the Great Replacement is no longer a theory, it's reality. White Europeans are being replaced in their own countries at a never-ending amount of people coming in. It's only 12 minutes long, but it's something definitely worth hearing, because what they're doing there, they're doing everywhere, and there's a purpose for it. And that purpose is going to be here also, so I think we need to wake up to it. So just type it in the title there that in the YouTube, and you should be able to get it. KJ7RAR.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for the information. Let's see. Any final comments from anybody else on radio or on YouTube, and then I'll close out the radio portion of the net. Okay, with that, I am going to go ahead and close down the net. We've been on the net now for an hour and 5 minutes. So I guess perfect timing. So with that, this is K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net, returning all the repeaters to their normal repeater operation. All nodes are released to go back to their normal assigned places to go. And everybody have a good one. We'll see you all next week. K6UDA. All right. Now, it's you and I. And I'm going to run over here. GhostNet almost all the time. DUS 777. Romania expanding their air base near the Black Sea. Poland offering to have nukes placed in the country. Oh, wonderful. 7-3, he's on GhostNet almost all the time. You know what, guys? I would love for some of you folks to prepare little sit reps. All it needs to be is if you hear something, put it together, give it to me, and I'll put it out on the net, or you could put it out on the net. Let's see this. The CUCV farmer, the bird flu is spreading to cattle. Gain of function. Yeah, of course it is. Setting the public up to be able to dump milk and slaughter cattle with bird flu. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. The left and the elite, the Bill Gates of the world, they are absolutely trying to, and hang on, nope, that didn't stop that. Man, I've got some kind of noise that is just driving me up the wall. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like a background hum that's just killing me here. Yeah, guys, and I forgot what I was saying now. Sit reps. I don't want to read them all. I would love for some of you guys on the YouTube to jump on the radio. If you've got Wires X, if you've got YSF, or the ability to do it. I can literally take my Anytone radio here. So it doesn't have to be a super expensive radio. I could take one of my D-Star radios and I can cross mode it with something like an open spot 4, open spot 3 or 4, and get on YSF. Ah, good. 5x5 here, no hum. So it's only me. That makes me happy. Thank you. DUS 777. Nice. Okay. How many want to go over to Discord and go play over on Discord? I've got looks like there's 4 of us or 3 of us in there right now on Discord. So, I haven't put up. Let me do this. If you haven't become a member, Discord, there you go. Here's a link. If you haven't been on the Southern Idaho Command Discord yet, you got to be invited. And here's your official invite. So I'll leave that up for just a couple of minutes. Let's see. The Wire is excellent. S2 Underground, May 1st, called The Wire. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's, that guy is a former, I think, Army intelligence. And he's got some good information. He really does. I'd love to get him on this net because, man, he could basically run circles around me and providing information. Let's see. Vegan. Pamela says, vegan creates weak genetics in men. Men need the protein from meat and the CoQ10 that is in meat. Nuts and pea protein will not provide everything. I agree. And I wasn't on the vegan thing, but, you know, all the shit with carbs, and I could say it now, I'm not on the radio. All the shit with carbs and sugars and crap in it, all the processed foods that we've been eating has made me fat. And now I'm kind of trying to go more carnivore, except for cream in my coffee. That I gotta have. Let's see. Steel Wolf says, I have my Anytone set up for YSF. Can never get into the net. Steel Wolf, go ahead and try. Wow, you lost 22 pounds in 2 months. That is freaking awesome. 15 the first month. Holy shit. That would be all I need to lose. If I can lose 20 pounds right now, I would be at what I consider my fighting weight. Go ahead and see if you can get into YSF. Key up your radio right now, Steel Wolf, and let's see. Can you do it? And then I'm going to run back over here to Discord and see we now have 4 people in. We got Billy Bob is in, the dog. Gene Ops Plans is in there. And I'm in there at the moment. And I'm back over here. So we've now been on for an hour and a half live on YouTube. And I'm not seeing anybody coming across the radio side. But anyway, guys, I do leave YSF. YSF is always open here. If I'm here or if I'm in the truck or the Jeep, I've got my repeater on almost constantly. Give me a call. Just say hi. Pine cones and roadkill. Yeah. From the E Fisherman. Pine cones and roadkill. And you're not getting in. Steel Wolf is not getting in. I know that it does work. I'm gonna prove it to you right now. I'm gonna turn on my open spot. This is the open spot 4. I'm gonna turn on my FT5. And actually, we can run back here. And I'll turn that off. I will go find... There's my open spot. Let me... There's that. And I can now hear myself. Yeah. All right, this is K6UDA on YSF.
YSF.
It's working. It's working, guys. So I don't know. Miko or Steel Wolf, go ahead and try this. Let's see, room 44. I'll look at it again. Okay, Steel Wolf, if you are on YSF, it is reflector 50. What is it? It's not 40448 on YSF. It's 56026 on YSF. Okay. So it's working, and I'm going to keep this on. I'll keep the open spot on here. I'll keep the FT5 cranked open. You could go ahead and try it, and let's just see if it just comes over on YSF and if there's something going on. Don't know. Quick question. Globetrotter Mike has a quick question. Let's see. If I run an 891 in data mode to use it with FT8 with cat control, and I like to switch the band, do I have to switch it on the radio and FT8 software, or FT8 only? All right. So if you have your, and I'm not so sure on the 891, but I believe if that runs under cat control, you're going to do it only on the software. You're not going to touch the radio, and the radio will follow the software. Let's see. 560261, and I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, Shadow Bear also says that is going to the software will change the radio. The radio is going to follow your software program. Okay, I can get the YSF parrot working. Go ahead and try to jump in on, because I've got YSF up here right now, and I've got a separate radio that's looking for it. Steel Wolf, go ahead and give it a shot. We'll see. If you're getting into the YSF reflector, it should be coming over, because this is a totally separate setup here. This has nothing to do with my with the repeater system or Wires X. And I know there's 4 people in the live. Or on displayed. I think the room displayed is 7.5, which is not how he's programmed it. Okay, so you're in the wrong room, my friend. Wrong room. All right. Let's see. And you know what? Man, 1020 have a new PC, so he'll have to install the Anytone software and redo the code plug. Actually, Steel Wolf, if you go into your, are you on an open spot by chance, Or are you on something else? Man, I wish we would just all migrate over to Discord. Let's see. WRL card set was mentioned. A world without rule of law. The original emergency preparedness survival table. Topic conversation cards. Never heard of that. That is super interesting. Pamela, if you could send me more information on that, I would love to take a look at that. But anyway, Steel Wolf, in your software, if you're on an open spot, and if you're doing the open spot thing, that is that's where you want to change it. And any frequency on your radio will work. You don't have to reprogram the radio. Let's see. Migrating. So Steel Wolf is migrating. All right. Man, we didn't pick up many. I'm wondering, when we first started, a couple of the nets that we did, man, we had a bunch of nodes connected. We had, I think at one point there was like 100 people watching on YouTube. But I guess, we've kind of narrowed it down to the hardcore people. Let's see. The Messenger, Waven, K6UDA. Are you guys expecting anything major to happen tomorrow on the 5th? I don't know of anything in particular that's supposed to happen, except maybe the Kentucky Derby. I don't know. Have you heard of anything? My signal's going off. With a Pi Star hotspot, I think you need to add a prefix to the room number. Mostly use an open spot too. And yeah, the Shadow Bear. I haven't used a Pi Star in Lord knows how long. So I'm not the one to ask about that. You said, I wish we would all migrate to Discord, so I migrated. Beautiful. Okay. I guess let's go ahead and I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the live stream here because we're at an hour and a half. And I'm going to migrate over, or I'm on Discord. I'm going to migrate over. If you guys haven't been there yet, check it out. We could all actually talk. So, with that, my friends, I'm going to say 7-3. See you over on Discord.